Why do you feel your kids need thousands of hours of videos? Let them live their lives.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Thanks for the advice.
Thanks for that. So as you know, My Journey to Just Live started for our kids. This actually started as an online journal, a place for our children to go someday to see all the cool things we get to do as a family, but also to see me fighting every moment of every day for them. Because when I was diagnosed, they were 5, 2, and 3 weeks old, and
Things were bad.
things were really bad for the first several months of my diagnosis. And we really didn't know what the future was going to hold for me, especially after the first oncologist gave me 5 years, likely 3 to live. And I was in the ICU, and I was obviously quite sick at the time. And yeah, that's why it started. So why do my kids need thousands of hours of video?
I don't think they need them, but if it's at the end of the day, if you have a journal that they can reference when they want to reference, if they need to reference, then fire away. Mm-hmm. But they're not being videoed all day every day.
No.
It's you, but you're not all day every day. Like, you check in a few times a day, but at the same time, they're not videoed all day every day.
If you look at a whole, 24 hours in a day, I might have my phone up like this, like literally talking to my phone for maybe 10 minutes max out of a 24-hour period. Right. So, letting them live their lives, I think we let them live their lives pretty good, personally, in my opinion. There are families that, take, especially this YouTube thing, and like literally live everyone out loud and have cameras like this all the time. Yeah. That's not what we envision for our family.
No, that's not going to happen.
That's not what we want. And to be honest, we actually go back and forth with how much we show of our children on social media.
Yeah, that's something that we unpack pretty frequently.
We unpack that a lot.
Are we doing this correctly? Or are we...
And how much detail about them are we sharing and all of that? It is kind of... it's hard. It's really hard, especially in the AI world, like all these different things, right? Like putting our children's identities out there and talking about personal details, because we are at a place in our lives where we get noticed when we're traveling and when we're local to PEI, and they'll know things about our kids and say our kids' names. I'm like, how do you know my child? Like, I forget that people watch, that you put these things out. So sometimes you won't see our kids on at all, because that week in my life, I'm like, okay, I shared too much. We need to kind of pull back. But what's really beautiful, especially Juliet, our oldest, she knows we live our life out loud. And she'll be like, go to your memories, mommy. Like, what happened 1 year ago today? And I'll read my journal post from 1 year ago today, and we'll forget about it. Or we'll watch a reel from 1 year ago. I'm like, wow, like, look how far we came as a family. Look how much the children have grown up. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things was my dad always had a video camera rolling as a child, and we always watched home movies. And I loved being able to see that, to hear voices, to see mannerisms, watching things that you forgot about, that just trigger a memory.
You can look back and you can see people that are gone as well. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, Uncle Ralph. Wow. Like,
I don't have an Uncle Ralph.
No, I know. It's just an example. Just an example. But like, you can see, you're like, wow. Yeah. Incredible. Yeah.
No, it's really, really cool. And I remember actually there was a video that we were sitting with my great grandmother. She was 97 when she passed away. And we were sitting around watching a home video with her. And my dad looked at her. It was Christmas morning. We were watching an old home video, and he said, isn't this cool? Like, to see all these people that have since passed away that were her generation. And she looks at my dad and she says, yeah, but it makes you feel a little lonely. And it was like, oh,
nobody's left.
Because nobody else is left. Even her own children had passed. Some of her own children passed away, like my grandmother, her daughter. But the other thing I want to say about living our lives out loud for our children to watch if they choose, tomorrow is not promised to anybody. So we've gone back and forth where we used to take so much content of me with the kids. That was our focus, where I'm like, what about you? Mm-hmm. Like, something could happen to you tomorrow, which is my biggest nightmare. And I say to you almost every single night before we go to bed, like, please wake up tomorrow, Ty. Like, I need you. I love you. Like, what about you? The kids want to be able to see life with you too, or even themselves. Like, God forbid anything ever happened to one of our children. Like, think of all these videos that we just have. We could go back if we choose. Again, choice here.
Yep.
So
for sure.
To the individual who wrote this in this way, be a little more positive, please.
To each their own.
To each their own. Yeah.